So somebody asked a very interesting question. He said, why is it easier to scam women than men? First of all, let's watch this video. Basically, what they are doing in the video is that they poured sand on top of a plate, and the plate is connected on a speaker, and they connected it to a piano. As they are playing the piano, the sound from the piano is changing the design of the sand. The sound from the piano is changing the designs. Look at the different designs that are coming up. Basically, sound is manipulating matter, drawing patterns. Then I want to show you something else. Can you look at this? These are patterns that you see on church windows, doors, and rugs on the ground. Patterns on the ground. You see? Right? The same patterns that sound makes when it hits sand. If you pour sand on a plate that we just saw in that video. What does that tell you? It tells you that sound can manipulate matter. Sound can be used to manipulate you. If they are speaking to you, the sound is hitting your eardrums. It's going to your brain to rearrange things the way you are seeing that sound now. That is basically gaining control of you. So when pastor is talking with you and the pianist, the organist, is playing a sound in the keyboard in the background, they are manipulating you. You are no longer you. The sound has taken over you and reorganized your brain. Now you are moving like zombie. Anything they tell you with that microphone, you will do it. Something you would never have done under normal circumstances. It's not just fake pastors that use it as a manipulation means. Most of these ritualists and all, they use it. They use gun, boom, 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 boom. They are manipulating the way you think. By the time they finish doing that and singing in a certain way, you are zombie. You can't question whatever they are doing. You are just like that. If they say bring money for this ritual, bring for that. That's why some people say that they use juju on them. It's not juju. You forgot when they were using sound to manipulate you. Sound tuned at a certain frequency, and you are sitting there. They're broadcasting it into your head. Boom, 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 boom. Your mind is at the end. You are like this. Anything they tell you, zombie mode. Sound is very powerful. Here's the thing: sound can change the way matter is organized. We just saw it as proof. But also, matter can change the way sound comes out. That's the job of flute. Have you ever seen a flute? They take matter, which is a piece of wood, and carve it in a certain way. Now, the sound you make at the beginning of the flute is not the one that will come out at the end. So at the beginning, you just make, that's the sound you do at the beginning. But at the end, it now turns to, you see, because matter, they carved matter in a certain way. So that matter is now changing the sound that is coming out. And vice versa. As matter is in a certain way, if sound hits it, it will change the way it's organized. We don't observe it because most things, we are solid. We think we are solid. You're actually 70% water. You are 70% water. Sound manipulates you, and many people don't know this. When pastor is trying to ask money, fake pastor, organist will put on background music. Be careful of anybody talking to you with a background music. Music is powerful because it sounds organized in a certain way, a certain pattern, a certain rhythm, known to cause certain emotions in people. There is a song you will hear now, you will start crying. There's a reason, personally, I don't listen to Adele. Adele is one of the best singers in the world. But I don't listen to her because every time she starts, I'll start remembering one ex or the other. Before you know it, I'm calling somebody I'm not supposed to call. It's sound from her. There are certain songs I don't listen to, not because the artist is not wonderful, not because they are manipulating, they are giving me emotions I don't want. Think about soldiers. When soldiers want to go to war, they use a low key to sing. You don't see soldiers going to war singing da 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 da. No. They use deep voice, low key, the lowest key possible. By the time they finish singing it, almost everybody is ready to die in battle. People that used to be scared 1 minute ago, once they sing with that male masculine voice, people are ready to go and sacrifice their life for their flag. True or false? The actual wordings doesn't really matter. There was a time that they were doing xenophobia in one country like that, and they were rounding up the Igbos in that country. The citizens of that country believed that Nigerians should not be there. So they were rounding up. These Igbos rallied up and started all of them carrying gun, machete, everything, and fought back. The sound just gave them that inspiration. Sound manipulates you. And back to why they are using women. Women have been proven through different studies to be more emotional than men. Basically, men and women feel emotions the same way, to the same depth. But then, Women express it more than men. Men have a bit more control of which of the emotions and to what extent they will choose. And if you look at it, it's evolutionary. A woman who has to raise a child will do so many stupid things in their life while growing up. You understand? A woman has to have emotion and empathy to be able to raise such a child. Otherwise, you beat the child to death. You get what I'm saying? That's why till today, many people love their mothers more than their fathers. It's only when you become a father you now realize that it's not proper that way. You're supposed to love your parents equally in their own way. But men have been to wars. Every generation of men up until recently, when there is more of global peace. We have more peace now in the world than we have ever had ever. Even though, of course, there's violence and everything. It's never up to the kind of violence they used to have then. If you read the Bible alone, you will see almost every 2 years, the Israelites, every chapter, they are going to war, they are taken as slaves, they are everything. At the end of the day, men used to be in battle. During battle, a man's friends will be killed, his right-hand man, his commander, his colonel, his whole platoon will be wiped out. He still needs to keep his head calm. Bombs will be exploding everywhere, he's wounded, he's bleeding everywhere, somebody is crying beside him, they have cut off the hand of that person. The man still needs to maintain a clear thought in all that chaos and still move forward and attack as instructed, even with all the fear. Men gradually, in a way, in my own opinion, evolve the ability to think without emotions as much as possible. At the end of the day, some fake pastors of some criminals figured this out, and then they started branding themselves as pastors. They know that women are more gullible when it comes to emotional manipulation. Once they say they have started a church, put one background, put pulpit, first thing they buy is piano, because they know that's the instrument of manipulation. That piano there is the instrument of manipulation. I'm telling you, it's not just for playing nice songs. Even the pianist may not know, but because their pastor grew under another pastor that grew under another pastor, they will just think this is the way it is done, without actually knowing that it's actually a manipulation method. But I'm telling you, anybody with any degree of knowledge in the spiritual realm knows that this is a manipulation tool. Music is number one manipulation of anybody. They usually advise parents, be careful of the music your children listen to. One song lyrics like this can totally change a child, transform them into what you don't even know, and destroy their lives. Music is very, very powerful. Very powerful. Have you ever seen snake charmers? Music can be used to control animals. It can be used to control birds, snakes, even your dog. When you do or whatever, your dog will come. Different sounds that you make can be used to control different animals. There was a video I was watching the other day of somebody in an African tribe using sound to ask the birds to show him where there is honey. I swear to God, go and check it on YouTube. This guy was using sound. He was making music with his mouth. The bird was responding. The bird told him where there's honey, and the bird started flying looking for the honey. This guy went. The bird knows that he cannot fly where the bees are and get the honey. So the guy was just following the bird for almost 3 hours. When they got there, the bird showed him where the honey is. This guy climbed there and brought the honey where the bees are, from the beehives, and then gave the bird some. Crazy stuff. Music is powerful. So be careful of anybody talking to you with background music on. That person is trying to manipulate you. They don't have a pure heart towards you. Anywhere you see background music and somebody is using microphone to ask you for something, you're already manipulated.